Hello and welcome back to the channel on our continuing voyage to become better blues players. My name's Mark, and in this lesson we're going to look at 8 melodic licks that you can use over a 12-bar blues in a minor key. So the way the lesson's going to work, you're going to see me play an example solo playing all of these 8 licks so you can hear them in context over the backing track, and then we'll come back on the other side and pull them apart and show you them one by one. So here's the solo. So that was the example solo, and what I'll do now is I'll pull those licks apart and show you one by one and show you where those additional melodic notes are coming from. Before we start, I'll say that there is a backing track for this that's available on YouTube. There's a link in the description below. If you'd like a copy of the tab for this, drop me an email just asking for the tab for G minor melodic blues licks, and I will send you it back, the PDF just attached to the email. You're not signing up for anything, not making any commitment, I'm not selling anything. But if you want the tab, that's how you do it. I'll email it to you. Okay, so on with the lesson now. We'll start with lick 1. The whole piece is in G minor. It's a G minor 12-bar blues. And lick 1 goes like this. Okay, and nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're starting box position 1 of the G minor pentatonic, and the interesting thing about this one is we're adding the flat. We're adding the second, okay, so the note that's at the second degree of the scale, so in this case it's an A. So that's how we're making it more melodic. So if you think of G minor pentatonic with an added A note, that's what we're doing. So that's where we get this. Okay, and then we're playing the last little phrase that's got that kind of dirty bend on the end to, you know, make sure that we're remembering that we're playing the blues. Okay, so that's lick 1, starting in box position 1, ending in box position 2. Lick 2 now is played over bar, bar 2 of the solo of the 12-bar blues. Lick 1 comes in just before the solo starts, so just before bar 1. Lick 2 is played over bar 2, which is over a C minor pentatonic, and the lick goes like this. Okay, and nice and slow. Okay, and what you should see here is I'm adding what is the flat 6 or the minor 6th to the G minor pentatonic scale, which is this note here, 4th fret of the B string. And if you think of the fact that we've moved to a C minor chord, you'll notice that this is where your middle finger sits when you play a C minor chord. So that's the note that we're adding into the G minor pentatonic scale to give it a bit more of a melodic sound. Okay, so what we've got is the licks basically in 2 parts. I'll play part 1 quite slow and then part 2 quite slow. And then part 2 would go like this. Okay, and basically part 2 is deliberately ending up at root, so G note in this case, ring finger on fret 8, because that's where I'm going to move now for this next lick, lick 3, where we're going to do this slide thing. So lick 3 goes like this. Okay, and I'll do it nice and slow. Okay, and what we're doing here is again adding in that second note, that A. So we're just sliding up on the B string the notes of G minor pentatonic, but with that A note thrown in as well. So where are we? 6, 8, 10, and 11. So that 10th fret of the B string, that's that second, that's that extra melodic note. And then we're ending by bringing that 11 or bend all the way up and holding it and picking it while it's held, and then on the last time shaking it. Okay, so that gets played over the G minor to the C to the C minor chord. Then staying on the C minor chord, we get this particular phrase here, and I'll play it through, and then I'll play it through slowly. Okay, and I'll try and do it nice and slow now, without getting lost. Okay, so I'll tell you where the lick kind of came from. If you can think of the G Aeolian scale or G natural minor scale at fret 10. So the actual scale, if you're going to play it as a scale, goes 10 to 12 on the G, and then 10, 11, 13 on the B, and then 10, 11, 12, sorry, 10, 11, 13 on the top E string. Okay, so I'll play that through. Always ending a scale on the G note, the root note, so that your ear knows kind of where the scale is. Okay, and what I'm doing is I'm seeing those notes, and in the improvisation, all I did was see those notes and just play along around that scale, kind of just playing up and down that scale. Not in a straight top to bottom kind of way, but up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little bit, down a little bit, as I tend to play my scales. But the important thing with this is all the time I'm just feeling that beat and intending on ending the lick on fret 12 of the G string, because that's our root note. So I'm playing this phrase, and I know that when the bar changes, when the chord changes, when the beat changes, I want to land that last note on that beat. And the rest of it is, I didn't realize actually until I got the solo transcribed and I got it back, just quite how syncopated I was playing. So I'm playing groups of 5 notes over each beat, which is very unusual, and it makes it this kind of very odd sounding lick. But that's what it is. Look on the tab in order to see the actual notes, because there's quite a lot of notes going on there, but it is all just coming from that shape. I'll play it again for you, the shape. Okay, and that's kind of how I tend to practice scales. I don't just go up and down, up and down, up and down. So those are the notes that I can see those on the fretboard in my mind. And when I get to that phrase, I'm just playing da 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 kind of thing along those notes. Okay, so that was lick 4, a very unusual lick. Okay, lick 5 now goes like this. Okay, so quite similar to lick 1, except we're just staying purely within G minor pentatonic for this particular lick, which is why it sounds kind of so dirty compared to the other licks, which are very melodic because they've got those extra notes. In this one, by the time I get to this point in the solo, I was just feeling like playing it dirty, so that's kind of why I did that. Okay, so I'll play it nice and slow. It would go like this. Okay, so that was lick 5. Lick 6 now will go like this. Okay, so the underlying chord progression is just as it moves to the D7 chord. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out that A note again, the second in our scale, over the D7 chord, because that note of A, the second in the scale, that is in the underlying arpeggio of D7. So if you look at the notes that make up a D7 chord, A is one of those. So I'm going to really focus on that. That's going to add our melody because I'm picking out a note that's not in pentatonic but is in the underlying chord. And I'm basically focusing in on that note and sliding into it in a similar way as we did in lick 3. When I get to it, I'm also giving it this little half tone bend up to the B flat. Okay, and the reason I'm picking that B flat is because the chord is about to move to a C minor, and in the chord of C minor 7, the 7th is a B flat. So that's in the underlying chord that we're about to go to. So I've kind of got all of those things swirling around at the back of my mind about these particular notes and how well they work. Also, that B flat there, that's in the key of G minor pentatonic as well. It's the flat 3. So it's kind of like I know when I look at the fretboard, you know, where the good notes are, and that's one of the good notes. So I'll play it for you again, nice and slow. Okay, and then that flows right into lick 7, and lick 7's then over that C minor chord, and that goes like this. Okay, so where are we? I'm thinking box position 3 now of the G minor pentatonic, and I am really just picking out notes from the pentatonic. So I'll do it again, nice and slow. And we're ending again. It's like always when I play around with box position 3, I'm really anchoring in on that, where are we? Index finger, root note, B string, fret 8 in this case. Okay, so that was, what was that? That was lick 7. Lick 8 now goes like this. Okay, and I'll do it nice and slow. And the important thing about this one is that very last note, we're going to land that as the 12-bar blues starts over again at the start of bar 1 of the next progression round. Not much to say about this one. It's G minor pentatonic, but it's got that added second note in that added A note. Similar to what we did with, what was it, lick 1. So that was the whole solo there. And what you'll have seen me doing is, throughout those licks, what we're doing is we are playing G minor pentatonic up and down the neck, different box positions. But the important thing with this is that I've added in that second and that minor sixth, or the flat sixth, whichever way you want to call it. The second is an A note, and there's a few of them here. I've been playing this one on the G string, this one on the B string, for example. But also added in that minor sixth, or the flat sixth, which is an E flat, usually adding in that one there, which is 4th fret of the B string. Hope you enjoyed this. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those things. Big thanks to the Patreon supporters who pay for the tab to be produced so that everybody can have that. There are a few additional videos on this particular series in G Minor Pentatonic Blues on the Patreon channel as well for Patreon supporters. I hope you enjoyed this. Tabs available, backing tracks available. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.